Hi everyone, this is Lindsay Taylor, co-author with Mark Sisson of the Keto Reset Instant Pot Cookbook and the brand new, super exciting Keto Reset Cookbook. And I'm going to show you guys today my go-to all-time favorite recipe, one of the simplest recipes in the book, but by far the biggest crowd pleaser. Whenever I go to a party now, I will bring this recipe, and yes, I will roll into a party with my huge cast iron skillet just to make this recipe because everybody loves it. So what we're going to make today is the blistered shishito peppers. You can find shishito peppers actually, at least where I live, at most grocery stores now. People must be onto them, but they're these little green peppers. They look sort of like wrinkly jalapenos. They're not super spicy, although I would say like 1 in 10 is actually really spicy, so it's this fun game of pepper roulette where you just never know if you're gonna get a super hot one. But it's honestly the simplest thing to make. So what I do is I like cast iron just because you don't have any of the concerns about nonstick pans, and also it just makes a nice little char on them. Put a nice layer of avocado oil on the bottom. And I've already heated this up, but you want to get your avocado oil nice and hot to the point where it's starting to get a little bit smoky. And then I do this in batches, so you don't want to super crowd your pan, but you're just going to throw the shishito peppers in and let them do their thing. And then basically, you're just going to wait until they get nice and black on one side, so fast forward. Okay, so these have been going for about 5 minutes. I flipped them. You can kind of see why they're called blistered, right? So this little guy is nice and brown on both sides. We're just gonna pull them out. And they're gonna they look kind of puffed up right now. They'll kind of shrink when you plate them. Don't even worry about that. Now, I love to use avocado oil because it has a really high heat point, but like any oil, it will splatter. And one thing I really like to do is use a splatter screen. So this is my well-loved splatter screen. It's like window screen material. Cover them up to keep it from messing up your entire kitchen, which it will. And then once you have a little batch out, I like this flaky sea salt called Maldon. It's nice, flat salt. You just sprinkle it on, and every time we add a batch, we're just gonna layer it up and sprinkle that with salt next. Okay, so we did our peppers. We put them on a nice little plate. You can see that they are blistered on all sides. We were munching on these off camera, so you can do a double or triple batch. And now I'm gonna show you guys how to do what I call the world's easiest dipping sauce. This appears in the Keto Reset Cookbook several times because it is a staple of mine. You really just need 2 ingredients, the Primal Kitchen Chipotle Lime Mayo and coconut milk. There is a recipe in the book for proportions, or you can just do it my way, which is what I call lazy dipping sauce, and I'll show you how to do it. So you want a can that sounds like it's already liquidy, ideally. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna mix sort of equal proportions. I'm just gonna, what I call my official measurement, bloop it in. So we're gonna bloop in some coconut milk, and just basically all we're doing is thinning out the chipotle lime mayo. So what I really like to do is wait till there's just like a little bit of mayo left in my jar and put in some coconut milk and shake it up. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that. There's probably like a 1/4 cup of mayo left in my jar right now. Let's see if I can do this without spilling. Oh, we did it, perfect. Put the lid back on and shake. You can do this if you're not a big fan of the chipotle lime mayo, which I don't know why that would be the case, but if it were, you could do it with regular mayo and just add freshly chopped herbs, anything that you want that matches what you're doing. So like a mix of like parsley and a little bit of tarragon works really nicely, or parsley and cilantro. Depending on what you're doing, you can do it with some mint and parsley again, like if you're doing it for maybe like lamb kebabs. You can put in some dried herbs like cumin with fresh cilantro if you're doing something like a taco salad. And then we also have the new Primal Kitchen garlic aioli mayo. You can do the same thing with that. So what you don't want to do though is you don't want to put in so much that it becomes super, super thin. So start small. You can also, if you want, add some lemon juice. You can add a little bit of cracked black pepper. Give it a little bit of stir. And then you have, voila, the world's easiest dipping sauce. Plate that nicely alongside your blistered shishito peppers, and now you have the world's easiest appetizer. And there you go.